We've all seen the pictures, right? The glorious images of Armstrong on the moon, the shiny rockets, the smiling astronauts waving to the camera as they're strapped into their seats. It's the clean, heroic, perfect story we're all fed. But what if it's not the whole story? What if the race to the stars, that great human adventure, had failures so terrible, so dark, that they were literally erased from history? I'm not just talking about a rocket blowing up on the launch pad, where everyone sees the tragedy. I'm talking about something way darker. I'm talking about a voice, captured from the blackness of deep space. A voice that, according to every official record, doesn't exist. Tonight, I want to tell you the true story of the Giudica Cordiglia brothers. And I want you to be the judge. These were two regular Italian guys, just amateur radio nerds, who accidentally built one of the most sophisticated private listening stations in the world in their backyard during the Cold War. They thought they'd pick up some local chatter, maybe some military stuff. Instead, they tuned into the secret, beating heart of the Soviet space program. And what they heard? Well, it's the kind of thing that makes the hair on your arm stand up. We're going to get into the details because the final, terrifying recording they captured is the one that, for many people, proves we were never told the truth about who really died in the race for the heavens. The boys in the bunker. Okay, so picture this. It's the late 1950s. The world is split in two. You've got the USA on one side, the USSR on the other. And they are in a flat-out, no-holds-barred sprint to conquer space. This isn't just a friendly competition. It's everything. National pride, military power. Proving your system of government was the best. It was the whole ballgame. Now, over in Turin, Italy, you've got these two brothers, Achille and Giovanni. They're not spies. They're not military. They're just hobbyists, geeks, in the best way. They've managed to get their hands on a bunch of surplus radio gear, and they set it all up in an old German bunker in their backyard. They call it Torre Bear. They start listening, just scanning the skies. And almost immediately, they start picking up beeps. After some quick math, they realize they're not just listening to a plane. They're tracking Sputnik Soyuz, the Soviet satellite. This is huge. Two kids in a bunker are tracking the most advanced piece of technology on Earth. This is where the story should end. Cool hobby, right? But the signals they start to pick up get weirder. In 1960, that's a full year before Yuri Gagarin's famous first man in space flight, they pick up a signal. It's not just beeps, it's an SOS message. Faint in Morse code. It's moving fast, like orbiting fast, and it seems to be getting fainter, moving away from Earth. They report it. The official word from Moscow? Nothing. Crickets. Then in February 1961, still before Gagarin, they lock onto another signal. This one is chilling. It's a heartbeat, a human heartbeat coming from space. And it's fast, so fast and erratic, like someone is panicked. They also record the sound of heavy, labored breathing. They listen to this ghost in the machine, for minutes until the heartbeat and the breathing just stop. Again, they report it. Again, the official response from the Soviets is total silence. They insist they had no missions on that date. No cosmonaut was in space. Worries. The voice in the void. Now we get to the big one, the one that haunts me. It's May 1961. Yuri Gagarin has now officially flown. He's a global hero. The Soviets are the undisputed kings of space. The world is celebrating. But the brothers are listening. They lock onto a new signal. And this time, it's not beeps. It's not Morse code. It's not a heartbeat. It's a voice. It's a woman's voice. She's speaking Russian. At first, the brothers, who have friends that speak Russian, say she sounds professional. She's calm, just reading data, checking off her instruments. But her tone starts to change. It gets faster, more scared. You don't need a translator to understand the sound of panic. Through the static, they hear her say, "It's hot. I'm hot." Her voice is cracking. They hear her say, "Isn't this dangerous?" And then the transmission becomes crystal clear. She's not talking to her ground control anymore. She's just yelling. "I see a flame." I see a flame. The brothers are just staring at their equipment, horrified. The voice becomes a scream. I'm going to crash! It's hot. It's so hot. And the last thing they ever record from that signal is her screaming. A long, terrified final scream as the signal and her life are apparently snuffed out. Yum. The Great Erasure. The brothers recorded this. They released it to the press. And the world mostly ignored it. Why? You have to remember what it was like back then. The Soviets were masters of propaganda. Yuri Gagarin was the perfect hero. His flight was perfect. His smile was perfect. Admitting that they had secretly launched multiple missions before him and that those lost cosmonauts had been cooked alive during re-entry, or even worse, had missed the planet and been flung out into deep space. Well, it would have ruined everything. It would have meant the Americans were right to be more cautious. So, they were erased. These lost cosmonauts, as they're now called. There's no record of a launch, no mission files, no grieving families. The woman on that tape, according to the official history books, never existed. Now, this is where the mystery part comes in, the part the conspiracy forums love. What if? It wasn't just a re-entry burn. Remember that SOS signal that was moving away from Earth? Why? A simple malfunction that sent it careening into the void? Or was it pulled? And the woman? She said she saw a flame. Was it just her own capsule disintegrating? Or was she describing something outside her window? Something that wasn't supposed to be there? We'll probably never know. But what we do know is that the signal was real. The brothers' equipment was verified by outside experts. They successfully and accurately tracked known public missions like NASA's Echo 1. So if their equipment was good enough to track the public missions, why is it so hard to believe they also tracked the secret ones? The whole story is just sad. It's devastating. Imagine it. You're the first woman in space, a true hero, a pioneer. But you know it's a one-way trip, or at least a high-risk one. You know if anything goes wrong, nobody is coming for you. And worse, if you fail, nobody will ever even know you were gone. You'll just be a ghost, a piece of static in a radio nerd's basement in Italy. So, what do you think? Were the Giudica Cordelia brothers just two elaborate hoaxers who got lucky? Or were they two regular guys who accidentally became the only witnesses to one of the darkest, most terrifying secrets of the 20th century? To me, that recording is real. It's the voice of a hero we were never allowed to mourn. A lost cosmonaut, silenced forever by the Cold War. We dig into mysteries like this, the stories behind the official stories, all the time. If you want to go down the rabbit hole with us and question everything, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. And you have to let me know in the comments, do you believe the lost cosmonaut story?